since when they sell Rolex at a BB spots. Goddamn, man, I could never tell you. I ain't rolling with no fucking tools, but we come and drill you. Two styrofoam cups up, we gon' come and spill you. When the bill due, young dude, we gon' come to bill you. I pulled up to the chicken spot, got a 6-piece, one biscuit and a stupid watch. Yeah, I pulled up to the chicken spot, got a 6-piece, one biscuit and a stupid watch. I got a bad bitch, yeah, she got a stupid box. Stupid die, you ain't getting shit from me, baby, stop. Diamond rings, pearly thing, you must think I'm stupid, huh? We ain't stupid now, well educated. Filet o fish, niggas never seen the fish scale. They always talking shit, nigga, I just wish you well. Niggas want the drugs, give them quarter flip to wish you well. Yeah, I pulled up to the chicken spot, got a 6-piece, one biscuit and a stupid watch. Silly, I pulled up to the chicken spot, got a 6-piece, one biscuit and a stupid watch. For really, yeah, I get much and plenty. Most your niggas still in the well, wishing for a penny. All the way you're proud, nigga, choose now. When the biscuit up to your head, you better speak loud. Cause all my niggas ruthless, some of them niggas toothless. They ain't got nothing to live for, they shoot shit. And we talking about the beat, pull up to the roof, Chris. I'ma have you served well done on a toothpick. Spin around your block like a motherfucking fire spit. And nigga, we ain't camping, nah man, this shit intense. Heard you talking shit on the block, but what's your intent? Pussy nigga. Yeah, I pulled up to the chicken spot, got a 6-piece, one biscuit and a stupid watch. Bitch.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Cypher. We're back from a brief one-week hiatus. We've been at this for 26 episodes now, so 26 weeks running. With only a couple breaks, we had to take a nice little second to refresh and enjoy a week off, get the vibes right, but we're back. Sheridan, how you guys enjoy our little vacation?
Man, I needed that. I really enjoyed the week off. You know, last episode I thought was really good. But it's always good to refresh your mind, you know, take that little nice deserving little rest period. The past week's been very busy. It's been very productive. I'm glad to be back at it for week 26. How you doing, Sheridan?
I'm doing pretty well. I've been binging Money Heist the last couple of days.
Oh, no, that's what I wanted to get into.
I actually it isn't really a type of concept I normally would be into. I actually really like it though. I think I'm a little biased. I usually like shows better when they're in another language. I like reading subtitles and I like just hearing other languages and how other people speak. And it makes it so I can't tell as much like if their acting is bad. Like if it's in English, like I know when I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers are trash. But when it's like Spanish or like Japanese or whatever, I can't really tell. So I'm like, damn, this shit's fire. But honestly, it's not like the best show I've ever seen. I've just been kind of bored and I've been interested in it. And so like in the last like probably 4 days, I've gotten through like 3 seasons of it.
Man,
I've been going hard. But I won't lie. Like as much as I was glad to have a break last week. I did kind of like when Wednesday came, I was like, damn, like I kind of want to I kind of want to do this. Like I was kind of upset, but then I was like, nah, it was good to have a little break and not have to stress about it. But it's good. It's good to be back though, for sure. I'm excited to be back.
That's a fact. I could definitely relate to that feeling. I was happy to have a break, but at the same time on Wednesday I was like, you know, we probably could have done the show. We probably could have recorded an episode. Like
that's how I was.
We easily could have. I mean, I almost went live later in the day just to preview some music, but then I was like, that's not a day off.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like that's not a day off. I'm just replacing this.
I almost suggested that to you guys too. I was gonna be like, you know, if you want to just go live, and it was good for me to get some time to relax. Last week was my birthday, so I got a whole bunch of stuff done in preparation for that. I have to shout out a bunch of people for supporting. I did a bit of a fundraiser for Upstate Aesthetic, got a bunch of funds raised from family, friends. I actually hit my goal after my birthday, so got $600 raised for merchandise, updates to the site. You see see the updates to the stream. Our stream should be going directly to our YouTube now. If you didn't know, for about 6 months it was going to my other podcast YouTube because I had no way to stop that. Now everything is actually matched up how it should be. So I got a shout out to my uncle for that one, my grandparents, my brothers, my 2 co-hosts, Ryan Pierce from Upstate. There were a couple other really awesome people from Upstate. Corey Alexander. So I know I'm missing a couple people. Josh. I do just want to shout out everyone that I can remember. My parents, of course, just for helping and supporting what we have going on here. It was really cool and honestly really humbling. I didn't think that I would get the whole goal, and thanks to my brother and coming in clutch at the last minute, I hit it. So I thought that was really cool and wanted to take some time on the episode to say that.
I mean, realistically, bro, when you posted that status, I was like, 600 isn't that much money to ask for, considering how big the network is. But I wasn't sure how many people were going to buy into the idea. So it truly is beautiful to see you reach your goal. Happy belated birthday. And I'm glad that you was able to make the improvements that you were looking for the site. And that people bought into the idea, because at the end of the day, it's all just going back to us. You feel me?
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I wanted to really say is like that's not really like, yeah, it's a win for Andrew, like it's a win for us and the podcast, it's a win for Upstate Aesthetic, but it's really a win for everybody that's a local artist, because we're just gonna continue to improve the platform that we're promoting y'all on, and we're trying to get y'all music out.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big win for really everybody that we were able to hit that goal.
Yeah, good shit, Drew.
Yeah, that's a fact, because this really leads to more plans for stuff that doesn't really just involve me. It involves everyone else in terms of merchandise and stuff like that. So I'm excited about it. I'm really glad about it, and wanted to make sure I showed some appreciation on the episode. We got a ton of new music this week. Shout out to 607 Sound for always providing us with an update on new tracks that come out. G Scaffa dropped a new track called See Me Fall. We got a track from T-Maco and O3 Costa called Blastin'. Blaine Bent dropped another one titled Hot Skull. Matthew Cornwell dropped a new track titled Pink Lemonade, which we'll be playing later on in the show. We got a new video and a new track from JJ Wolf featuring Saint Kid titled Fuck Love. And then Tone Chop and Frost Gamble dropped a new EP, Foresight. So a lot of music coming out. Jumping Out the Crib, the deluxe EP of that from Nazi, also dropped. So a lot of music from Upstate. A lot of stuff to check out just this week.
That's fire. I didn't see that. I didn't see Nazi drop the deluxe version.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I need to check that out because I like his music. I don't know if I probably haven't played it on here, but he did a cover of that really popular, I can't even remember the name of the song right now, but he did a cover of a really dope song that I really enjoyed. I normally don't enjoy covers like that, but yeah, so I really like his music and need to check out that EP.
You talk about the son from Utica, right?
Yeah.
T Melly's boy. Okay, yeah, he's an animal. I was chopping it up with him last week. T Melly introduced, like, I was supposed to meet him a couple weeks ago at T Melly's crib. It didn't end up working out, but T showed me his music, and I think it was the first time that I knew it was him and I was conscious of listening. Bro, he's a fucking animal. Industry sound, very versatile, can do the club banger, he can do the rapping thing. He's a very talented artist. I'm looking forward to this deluxe version.
Yeah, the first track I heard by him was a Murder on My Mind cover. And that was really, really interesting because he kind of just does it all in a different way. So it's dope. If you get a chance, check that out and check out his new EP. Something we have to talk about. It's a little bit bigger than just the local upstate scene. Toosii dropped a new album. What'd you guys think of that?
Go ahead first, Sheridan.
Heavy rotation for me right now. I'd say the last week it's honestly between Toosii's new album and the Richie album, or the Richie EP, Throwaways 1.5, of what I've been listening to the most in the last week. So that, I think that's pretty fire about the local scene, is like, yeah, Toosii's kind of evolved above a local artist, but I mean, in my eyes, he's still a local artist. He's from this area, so it's pretty crazy that what I'm listening to, like, not even like, I'm not like, hey, I want to listen to artists from here. It's just literally what I want to listen to. and it happens to be 2 artists from here, and I think that's pretty cool.
It's a beautiful thing. Toosii delivered on this project after exactly after the first project I heard from him. I went listen to that. I loved it. Platinum Heart, I think was the name. He dropped the deluxe of that. I loved it. I went back, listened to old Toosii projects. I was like, damn, son really developed and progressed over time. Because if you go back and check his projects from, I think, like 2016, 2017, you can hear bits and pieces of modern Toosii, but he's a way underdeveloped artist considering where he is now. I can't tell which project I liked more between this and Platinum Heart. No, I don't think one is substantially better than the other. He delivered. I saw signs of growth. I fucked with the feature. He had Dirk on it, right?
Yeah.
I was just listening to that song.
Exactly. Like, it's dope, and it's amazing to see somebody from the area doing it. It's never been a better time to be an upstate artist than it is right now. So shout out for Toosii for being one of the people pioneering and spearheading that movement.
Facts. And there's like 6 songs at least that are going to stay in rotation for me for a while. And personally, I this is the album for me that like took Toosii to the next level. I liked his last album. I've always liked Toosii since I first started listening to him. But this is where like nothing really went into heavy rotation for me until this album. I don't know if it's just because I noticed something that maybe he still had in the last album, but I just decided to hear it in this album. But this one's the one that connected for me. And I think I would be really surprised if he wasn't like a freshman next year and doing. Yeah,
he'll probably be a freshman next year. I mean, he might even get to the point where he's big enough to like turn it down.
Where he's like, fuck that, yeah.
Like, it's crazy to think about that, bro.
Those are my two picks though for next year are Toosii and Nasty C so far is who I think is gonna make it XXL next year.
I think Scory is gonna make it next year. I think he's gonna do a big.
He's got a chance.
I think Toosii is bigger than Scory, obviously, but I think Scory is gonna go on a run this year, and I think he's gonna need the double XL a little bit more just for the publicity's sake. After Polo did it this year, especially, I would love to see Toosii on that shit. Just getting anybody from upstate to represent the double XL freshman. I think my favorite track by Toosii is still, I think, Sky Red off Platinum Heart. I just like he puts some emotion in his voice. He switches vocal range, and he has a strong delivery sometimes. That it's just really dope to see. He can spit too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, he can. Like even when he's singing, some of his like little punchlines when he's singing, I'm like, damn, like that's fire.
So I hear traces of Roddy, Tory Lanez, Lil Wayne. Like I hear some great artists inside of him. You feel me? Pause. But like I hear him being a culmination of a lot of different niggas and still being unique with it. You feel me? So
I heard a lot of Lil Baby in this project, honestly.
Facts.
Yeah, I like this one, and I liked Toosii the first time we heard him, or the first time I heard him, I guess, with his last project. But this one, sort of like Sheridan, really sort of took it to the next level for me. I've been listening to this project a lot, or at least a couple different tracks off of it. Maybe not the whole thing. When I was listening to it at first, I was messaging you guys telling you I really thought that it was sort of changing how I viewed him. And it definitely did. It was a little bit longer of a project. That's one thing I will say. You kind of have to get through it. If you want to listen to the thing top to bottom, it is a bit of a chore because it's like 45 minutes, maybe even an hour, and it's just like 17 tracks, and that's where it becomes a bit for me. But otherwise, I really liked it. There's a lot of tracks on it that I've played primarily more than anything, and I know people at work are like, who the fuck is this? Because I live in the Midwest, so people don't know who Toosii is here yet, but I really fuck with it, and yeah, so I was pleasantly surprised, honestly, when it was the only album to sort of throw on Friday night or Thursday night, I should say. I was like, well, fuck it, I'll play it. I got nothing better to do, and it was really, really impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, between Toosii and Conway just dropping, I think within like 2 or 3 weeks of each other, that's a good fucking month for Upstate, bro. That's a good fucking month for Upstate. It is nuts. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to just sit back, smoke my blunt, and keep talking about Upstate because this shit is nuts. Yeah.
Upstate's
And
going
I think it's
crazy.
crazy that people want to just like paint him as a North Carolina artist or something. I think that it makes very little sense. I understand maybe people from North Carolina really wanting to just only be the ones that have that representation or something, but I mean he's very clearly from the Syracuse area. If you look into the story, you know that he's from upstate. It's not like he denounces his time in upstate, so
I mean, I see this all the time. I see it on social media. I see it on viral posts. I see it on Twitter when I look up Toosii's name. If you go to Toosii's bio on Spotify, Syracuse, Toosii has mentioned upstate New York and Syracuse in a couple different songs. He's mentioned so many specific situations that happened in Syracuse to him. And if you watch any of his DJ Vlad interviews, it's 315. I moved down to North Carolina, but I stayed in Syracuse till I was 13 or 14 until I had to, my family took me away because they didn't see me making it out. For him to talk about Syracuse in the light that he was paying it and how a lot of how we know it, some people don't realize how crazy it actually is over there.
Right.
Sometimes it's a war zone. It's not a safe community. So for his parents or family to take him from Syracuse into a better situation where he was able to thrive and get nurtured a little bit and become who he is today is beautiful. I don't think he ever denounces Syracuse. I just think he moved away from Syracuse and got on in North Carolina.
Yeah.
He's always going to rep where he's from, but he would be a fool not to rep both.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I also thought it was kind of cool and interesting that he threw in a Toosii slide reference within the first two tracks. I knew that was coming, but he played right into it. It's what he should do, really. I mean, what else are you going to do with something like that? So
everybody knows the Toosii slide. Not everybody knows Toosii.
Right.
So
Exactly.
if he gets any of that buzz or it's just a cool play on words. Smart man for doing that.
That's a fact.
I remember, I'm not sure if we were talking, but I was talking with a couple people when Toosii Slide came out because it was around the time of Platinum Heart. I was like, oh man, is this connected somehow?
Yeah.
Like, is this? Like, yeah. But not actually.
Nah, we did have that conversation on the show, but turns out it wasn't much of a connection. But he is getting good looks and good features too. That's kind of the thing you could see that he's really taken another step up. That Lil Durk and Summer Walker feature, those are both really good tracks, and it's just the next step. These aren't superstar features, but it's a good sign. So.
I mean, Summer Walker is kind of a superstar, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure, depending on who you ask. I feel, because I can agree, but I also would understand if someone just didn't know who Summer Walker was, to be honest.
Summer Walker is at least a star.
Right.
Like, I think
I think she took a B list.
On top 5 on the billboards. And I think it might have reached number 1 for R&B. And between all the speculations that she's had and the controversy that's came with her in her brief stint of being a celebrity, I'd say she's close enough to a household name.
Yeah. I think that's it's tough for me because I do agree, but I also think that like R&B acts in general really struggle to get much further than that, even that position of just like star. I think it's hard for like there are definitely superstar R&B acts, don't get me wrong, but when you think of the quality R&B acts that are just like at that same level of people know who they are, but they probably have never heard a real song or couldn't pick a song out of 5 different R&B female songs. I think that's kind of where we're at with Summer Walker.
That's fair. I think picking her out of a lineup of 5 different artists is different than knowing about Summer Walker. Though. You feel me?
That's yeah.
Like I don't even know if I could do that personally, and I've heard her whole album.
I think quarantine's like a good thing for her because she don't like to perform, so now nobody can perform. So it's like an even playing field now.
Yeah.
And I think she could like make herself be on that level. I bet she'll drop an album. I bet she'll drop an album at the beginning of 2021.
I wouldn't be surprised at all, but from what I understand about Summer Walker, is she doesn't really like all that publicity. I don't think she wants to be a A-list celebrity and in the spotlight all the time.
She's mad anxious.
Yeah. Exactly. I'd agree with you that quarantine was probably good for her.
No doubt. This is the next topic. It's an interesting one. Lupe Fiasco versus Kendrick Lamar. Who's the better lyricist? This was making the waves on social media. It seems like a relatively simple question to me based upon just how it's worded. Who's the better lyricist? Like, it doesn't.
Lupe.
Right, I agree. Sheridan, are you arguing this?
No.
Lupe is the better lyricist,
No.
and I'm not. I'll debate it with you, but there is a wrong answer on this one.
No.
Yes, there is.
So
No.
you're saying
yeah,
you're
there
saying
is a wrong
Kendrick is
no,
the
there is
better.
a wrong
Dang,
answer.
I'm gonna need a
There
smoke
is a
for
wrong
this
answer, and the wrong answer is Lupe.
Yep. So, if Kendrick is the better lyricist, are you telling me that Kendrick is better at everything than Lupe?
Yes.
Oh my god. Yo, oh my god.
100% better than
Bro.
Lupe at everything.
Bro, you know, like, oh my god, this is gonna be hard.
Yeah,
Just
Well,
hard
it,
conversation.
that's not even really like, honestly though, that's not even really the issue I have with it. Like,
Did you
I
hear,
just don't know why he's talking. Like,
Did you hear the tweets that backed this?
I
see
read
what
his tweets.
But he went in depth. There was probably like 10 to 12 tweets.
I think I read like 4 or 5.
He was making a lot of sense, bro. And granted, I still don't know why he's talking about it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's because he pointed out his 8 favorite lyricists in the world. And people in the comments are like, yo, Kendrick's not on here. Kendrick's not on here.
Mm-hmm.
And this nigga clarified he didn't put Kendrick's name at first. He just said, if you're not on this list, it's on purpose. I know where your skill level is. I'm not better than none of these rappers. Every other rapper in the world, come see me. Come see me. I'll take your head off. That's what it is. And I don't think many people want to get into a lyrical showdown with Lupe Fiasco, bro.
I disagree.
Where Sheridan has no respect.
I mean, I don't think there's many, but I think Kendrick. I don't think it would be like a body. Like, I think it would be close, but I would like put money on Kendrick. Like, I would put probably $500 on Kendrick.
That's like putting money on the Clippers, bro. You saw how that just happened. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, you know, with the obvious answer. That's all I did. Kendrick is phenomenal, bro, and I would never want to take anything away from him. Kendrick is not the best lyricist in mainstream hip hop right now. He's not.
In mainstream hip hop,
bro, he's top tier. I don't think Kendrick is
Who's the best lyricist in mainstream hip hop?
I don't know the number one best, but I don't think Kendrick is a better lyricist.
Who's better than that? As a mainstream hip hop artist, who's better than Kendrick?
I said J. Cole. I don't think.
Oh man,
is a
here
better
we go.
lyricist.
Somehow.
I'm not even gonna start with that. That's just a joke.
Let me put it
That's just a joke.
Nice and simple, bro. Lupe Fiasco will bar Kendrick to death.
That's a fact, bro. I agree.
Lupe would bar J. Cole, but he would not bar.
He would bar both
not
of them
bar
to
Kendrick.
death.
He
would not bar. No.
At the same time.
No.
Yes, bro. There's.
Absolutely not.
I mean, bro, and I don't even know why people don't respect Lupe the way that they should. Because in terms of conceptual albums, in terms of introspection, deep lyrics, having a message, articulating yourself in a unique way, like Lupe had Kendrick's template 10 years before Kendrick did. You feel me? Like, it wasn't the same. I'm not trying to compare The Cool to Pimp or Butterfly or anything. But the way that Lupe went about his career with Class, very similar to Kendrick, bro. I mean, and Kendrick came a lot.
It's a different, but you don't feel the same ego with Kendrick.
Lupe has an ego, but he also has enough pride to sit and play the background. Yeah. He's not trying to take any shine away from anybody. He just knows his spot.
But ever since Kendrick got his spot, he doesn't do any of that publicity type of shit, bro. He knows where he is.
Because Kendrick knows this nigga get barred to death.
No. No.
That was a joke. I don't think that's why Kendrick is humble. But I'm actually very happy.
There's just no reason for like after he put up his top 8 lyricists, how it started is he replied to a tweet. It was like Lupe Fiasco or Kendrick Lamar. And he replied to it, and he was like, "Lupe."
He said, "Lupe, but Lupe, but," because that's what a lot of people would say, "Lupe, but Kendrick is a higher selling artist or something." Just shit like shit like that. I don't know.
That's just like.
I just want to. And we don't have to discuss this too in depth on the show, but I want you to. give me some examples outside of this of like Kendrick's best display of lyricism, because I'm sure I've heard it. I'm sure you're not going to put me on the Kendrick songs that I haven't heard, and I might be able to put you on to some Lupe that you've never heard. That Son is, it's like, just in terms of lyricism, bro, it's really different. It's different. That's why Kendrick is more appealing to a mass audience, because he's not as in-depth sometimes, and he's not as lyrical as Lupe Fiasco.
Facts.
If Lupe Fiasco wanted to make some I don't want to say watered down, because that undermines what Kendrick does, but if he tried to just dumb back what he did a little bit and make some mainstream shit, I'm sure he could, because he's done it before. But
Kendrick's least mainstream shit that's most critically acclaimed is why does Lupe never have shit that's as acclaimed or that wins the type of awards or that?
Because it goes over their heads, bro.
It goes over whose heads?
The people who picks the awards.
I'm not talking about fans. To Pimp a Butterfly went over people's heads, and a lot of people who like Kendrick don't even like that album.
Did you just say To Pimp a Butterfly went over people's heads? What went over? That was the most, like, there was a lot of little intricacies and a lot of deep themes that if you don't listen to it in depth, you might not get. I'll give you that. But it's relatively straightforward, bro. I get there are a couple different Lupe Fiasco albums that are more complex.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say I've listened to like Lupe Fiasco's albums more than once or twice, because I never liked them enough to listen to them more than once or twice. But I never heard any.
You can also agree that it's hard to really gauge how good music is on a once or twice listen. You might.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm saying that.
Yeah, like Lupe is a treasure, and granted, he just dropped a little 4-piece EP a little bit ago. I think
I liked it.
It was amazing, and every song had its own concept. Like, it was
that
nice.
Dinosaurs track was
really
so great.
I really liked it. I really like Lupe. He's just not as good as Kendrick.
I think lyrically, it's like.
And this is like the corniest cliche thing you could say, but show me a Kendrick track that's fucking with Mural lyrically. Just show me.
I have to listen to Mural again.
And it's absolutely nuts. Word bending at its finest, just train of thought, connecting words, and when you connect the schemes that he's actually following, because it just sounds like random words that he's playing with and word association. But when you connect some of the themes, like I had to watch a breakdown video on that after like my 15th listen. Just
off the top, I don't even think it would be fucking with like his That Part remix verse.
Yo. See, that's why Kendrick said a lot of fucking nothing in the That Part remix. He rhymed.
I knew you were gonna say that.
It's a great verse, bro. You can watch when they go on the rhyme schemes on Rap Genius. You can see how many times he rhymed, the internal patterns. It's nuts. But Kendrick uses a lot. He says so much and crams so much to make niggas like you think that he's saying a lot. When Lupe Fiasco can say like fucking 12 words in a span of 5 seconds and draw everything out and still say more, when you can use less words and be more impactful, it's crazy. Kendrick uses a lot of filler, and I'm not hearing he doesn't.
All right. Well, I'll just say that shit that might be impactful to you has not impacted me.
That's fair. And
that's all. That's how I'm gonna just end it. It has not impacted me. So, and I don't think it's. I think Kendrick shit is much more impactful.
You're a big Lupe fan, Andrew?
Yeah, I'm a big Lupe fan. I've been a fan of Lupe for a hot minute. So for me, it's an easy.
I'm also a fan
easy
of Lupe. Pick
to say Lupe lyrically is a better artist than Kendrick. Like that's it. Just that conversation is very simple.
That's where it ends. Yeah. Like it. Lupe was the first artist that I saw in concert. Oh, shit. Actually, at like 8 years old, I saw Lupe open up for Twista at Cornell.
Damn. That's what's up.
So y'all,
biased. There you go. You got it. You're not biased to Kendrick at all. We'll end this topic by leaving it. We'll leave it to the comments.
The last time I listened to
Kendrick. Leave it to the comments. What y'all think? You think Lupe is a better lyricist than Kendrick? I honestly think that the comments will side with Sheridan in this one, but I might be wrong.
Really? I think they're definitely gonna sign with y'all.
You just gotta know about Lupe. I mean, a lot of niggas are gonna be like you. They're gonna be like, I heard a couple Lupe tracks. I listened to it once. That nigga's ass. Like,
I'm not saying he's ass. Stop it. Stop the narrative.
But this conversation started off some tweets, so the next conversation might as well be about some tweets. Kanye West has been tweeting off a storm for the last like month, even. It's been interesting. At points, it's been a little bit sad or scary, but at other points, it's been a little bit like almost hopeful. Is the word I guess I could use for it. Where I hope he's on the right path. What do you guys think about all this shit?
I hope Kanye is okay. Like, I genuinely
think
hope
he is.
I mean, all signs show that he's not in many different ways. Like, I just genuinely hope Kanye is okay because he's fucking tweeting. He's rambling so many different times. He has a point in a lot of his tweets. A lot of them should have never been tweeted. Sometimes it's just incoherent. It's just nonsense. It sounds like he needs to be in the psychiatric ward. Like, I don't know. I hate seeing people's mind states dwindle in the public eye, and like them genuinely just break down and deteriorate over time. And I really hope that's not what's happening to Kanye.
I don't know if it is, man. I get the idea that it might be, but at the same time, for my birthday, my little brother got me one of the early Kanye albums on vinyl, and I played it the next day, and I was bumping it, and just hearing the shit Kanye's saying back then, and sort of correlating it to the shit he's saying now, like, it's not that far off. It is a little bit more out there, and maybe a little bit more like because he's been through so much shit. But I don't think that it's him deteriorating. I think he just doesn't know how the fuck else to express himself. And this is the only way he gets any attention.
I disagree. I definitely disagree. I feel like ever since his mom died, he's been a different person. Like I think, and it's just been a slow decline for him. And I'm definitely very worried. I think artistically, he's just as good as he's ever been. I think the only thing that makes him sell less is that he's doing really abstract things with his music, like more abstract than his original stuff, which was still very. But I think really he has some serious issues, and I think he needs some serious help. I don't want to be the type of person that's like, oh, he needs to get on meds, but he needs to get on something.
I don't think it's necessarily what he's saying, Andrew. I think it's how he's saying it, and how he's going about it. Because there are consistent themes with stuff that Kanye's been talking about his whole career: mental health, poverty. You know, he's always been an advocate for many different things, but he's going about it in a way that he's just shouting it at the world in little episodes. You feel me? And it's incoherent thoughts. It's not
like freaking out.
Exactly.
You know, like call people out.
And that's kind of my point too. Is we're only seeing these isolated moments of Kanye. The man is still able to run like what is it, $1 billion business or $1 million business with Yeezys. Like, he's still fully capable of doing a lot of shit. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's so far off the deep end as everyone thinks. I just think he doesn't give a fuck. Like
I want to make this clear. I never said he's off the deep end. I just genuinely hope that.
I think he's on the edge of the deep end.
It's scary. Like
I think he's on the high dive.
Niggas on the diving board right now.
Yeah, he's jumping for sure.
I don't know, bro. It could.
He's figuring out whether to cannonball or.
I'm not losing sleep over it. I'm not like genuinely distraught. What Kanye doesn't really affect me. But if something happened to him, or if he got to a point where if the whole world has been making fun of Kanye for years now, and he's genuinely just not okay, if there's something wrong, like that, those are things that strike my mind. Like, I don't know how to gauge what Kanye's doing because I don't know. I know it's him, but I don't know if it comes from a place of like emotional fragility, some actual like mental instability or disability. Like, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't think his mental health is very good right now. I will say that. I don't think he's in a good place mentally.
I think that everyone, like, He's crazy till he's not, though. Like, once shit starts going, or once he can actually fulfill some of the shit that he's saying, or even if he doesn't, or even get some of these conversations done, or some of the shit done that he says he's gonna do. Like I said, everyone's crazy till they're not. And that's kind of where I see Kanye, and that's where, again, like in a lot of ways I can relate to Kanye, in the sense of, like, you just fucking. You're having a bad day, you post some shit, and you're like, oh, fuck, shouldn't have done that, delete it. Or just crazy shit like that, bro. I'm not even kidding. Like, so.
But yo, my nigga, you can't just sum up what Kanye be doing. Oh, fuck, like, I should have deleted that. That's like being Trump and saying, like, oh, fuck, I should have deleted that. Like, they be saying some catastrophic things.
But Trump don't say that. Trump don't say that he should delete this shit. That's the difference. Like, Kanye recognizes when it is at that level, or Kanye recognizes that people don't understand him, I think, is the biggest thing. He understands that he is very bad at communicating his point sometimes, so.
The craziest people are still geniuses, bro. Some of the most maniac and crazy people just in the head are crazy geniuses, bro. Kanye's talent and mind will never leave him, no matter where he is mentally. It's just about how he's going to balance it and cope with it and present himself to the world. In reality, what we think of Kanye doesn't fucking matter. People could still hate Kanye, and they're still going to rock the Yeezys. They're still going to buy his next album when it comes out. It's not going to affect Kanye's stock too much to the point where it's irreparable. I'm worried about Kanye as the person and the human being. You feel me? I think he'll be that as a business forever. He's always going to be the genius that he is. Nobody could take that away from him.
Yeah, fair enough. And I guess for me, at the end of the day, when it comes down to him as a human being, like, I just hope the fucking people around him can recognize that and help him for that. You know what I mean? Like, because if he's unstable the way people think, then there's no, he ain't gonna be able to help himself. There has to be someone around him that can get that genuine help, or see that genuine help through. You have to hope. So who knows? Hopefully it's not something that ends in tragedy. I like to believe that in the more positive side of it, but with some of the shit that Kanye tweets, you never really know, man.
Absolutely.
On a more,
I think something needs to change. I just think something needs to change for him. Whether it's his routine, whether it's a change of scenery, whether it's getting away from Kim, I don't know. She's got to do something.
Did she file for divorce, or did I make that up?
I just saw something on Snapchat that was like Kim's planning to file for divorce or some shit like that. But you know how that is.
That's probably exactly what I saw.
But also at the same time, like that's been something in the news for how long? Like it how shitty that's got to be the husband of this person. And even if it's not true, even if you know shit's good at home, like, it's constantly plastered all over the internet that your relationship is in shambles and your wife wants to divorce you for the shit you're saying. Like, on a realistic, like, humanized thought process of that, it's like, holy shit. Like, I can only imagine just dealing with that situation alone, let alone his history of traumatic situations on it. So I guess maybe I'm being a little too optimistic to think that Kanye is just totally fine.
It's not too optimistic, bro. None of us know that nigga, bro. Right. We only see what they let us see. But I do think Sheridan's onto something. The death of his mom completely fucked him up.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if he's still reaping the detriments to that, the negative effects. I'm sure he is. It's something he has to deal with. But something clicked in his head when his mom died, and I don't think it was for him.
And I just think that shit seems to keep getting worse in its own ways. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully shit can get better for Kanye and shit can turn around. But it's very strange. We'll go for 6 months to a year of not hearing from the guy at all, and then it's like 6 months to a year of outbursts and social media rampages and interviews of shit he shouldn't say. So I don't know. On a more positive note, Herbo bought his old elementary school. He turned it into something of a youth center, I believe. This is actually really, really cool. What do you guys think of this?
Beautiful.
That's dope.
There's really nothing else you can say about it. It's everybody's dream. Like, you feel me? Like, most people just want to get successful and then pull back up to their old school and flex on the people there. Son went and bought it. That's a different type of bag. You feel me? He's making a positive impact on his community, and it's in Chicago. So, a lot of the kids are going to need that. Couldn't be better timing. I'm sure they're going to figure out some real cool shit to do once COVID limitations are up.
Bro, this whole event surrounding this thing is so cool. Apparently, he was joined by Chance the Rapper, Vic Mensa, Joey Purp. They marched through the South Side. They handed out over 2,000 backpacks with school supplies. They set up tents for free COVID and HIV testing, and set up voter registration. Like, just all that shit all in one.
I saw the voting registration. I didn't see any of the other things. That's beautiful.
Yeah, like
that's
amazing.
That's why, like, I've been a fan of G Herbo since probably 8th, 9th grade when he was doing the 4 Minutes of Hell. And to be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of him throughout the past couple years, but this last album was amazing.
It was amazing.
Despite what anybody can say about his music, you can't take away from shit like this. This is what you love to see. This shit
that's
that
a fact.
Do, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see more rappers get on the trend like this.
And that's one thing I wanna shout out Darius McDowell. He did a backpack drive in Cortland for a bunch of people.
Yeah.
A bunch of kids pulled up, got backpacks. I think they might have gotten other school supplies and stuff too. And in general, he just shows out for the community all the time. So I wanted to shout him out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the area, go to the Squeeze. I haven't
go to the
been
Squeeze.
able to get there. I don't got the Whippington, you feel me? It's in Cortland, downtown Ithaca. One of these days, I'll be seeing all the meals and the smoothies he be posting. I'm
gonna bring you to the Squeeze when we link up.
Thank you, bro. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Wavy knows what it is. I'll see you soon.
That's honestly my favorite smoothies in this area. I love the Squeeze. It's all natural. The food slaps too. But I just have to say, first game of Rec League, we played the Squeeze. We beat them by 1. Got your asses.
It's comedy.
That got way off topic, but it's. I think that this situation is dope as hell. I think for Chicago, it's really cool, like, to see a group of artists, like, for a community that has struggled, and we've all heard about it. Because if you listen to hip hop, you've heard a Chicago artist talk about what goes on in Chicago, and if not, you've watched the news and knows what goes on in Chicago. So to see a group of artists all come together, no beef in this, like it's really cool. And it's great for Chicago, and hopefully this can be a start of positive things to come for that area, because they definitely need it. And so it's just cool. Like, I'm honestly, like, really, and I'm not even a big G Herbo fan. I haven't heard a whole lot of G Herbo music, but I'll probably take a listen now just because, like, I think this is so dope. Like,
when you listen to a lot of his music, the biggest thing about G Herbo is he conveys pain and street shit in a very crazy way. He's not the melodies. He's gonna make you make the stank face the whole track, especially his older shit. To me personally, the 4 Minutes of Hell series, I think there's like 5 or 6 of them. It's nuts.
Those shits are crazy.
Listen to it 1 through 6. It's progression. I think the first one he made, he was like 16, bro. Like, one thing about G Herbo that we didn't mention, he did this at like 23. He's like 23, 24. I think he's a year older than me, to be honest. Like, it's absolutely insane. Like, that is nuts.
Yeah, and
he's been around for so long.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying. I've been fucking with him since I was in 8th, 9th grade. Shout out Jordan Ayers, because he put me on to him. And ever since then, I've been rocking with him. This is when Chief Keef and all them was banging. Herb was doing his thing too. That's nuts.
That is nuts.
He was just like a little bit lesser known and more known in Chicago, but Chicago is doing crazy things in the music game. And between him and Chance, I can see that they're both spearheading some ways to change Chicago. Because Chance been in the news many different.
Vic too. I mean, Vic, his music ain't really what I enjoy, but at the same time, he's still all about that community shit. So it's very cool.
His new album was pretty good.
I haven't checked it out. I got peeped that. I love beats of Vic Betson, but he's cordy as well.
I literally have not liked him at all for the last couple of years. But this new album, I haven't really gone back to it. But when I listened to it, I was like, damn, this is pretty fire.
Man,
there was
I'm
one
gonna be
song
mad at you if I
oh,
listen to this shit and it's whack. Because I've listened to some Vic Mensa, and it's been whack. So
low, bro.
Very low.
I know you're gonna like some of it. Like if you don't like any of it, I'll be very surprised.
There's not too many industry rappers that can go bar for bar with Vic Mensa. You feel me? Vic Mensa and Mick Jenkins, nasty.
I don't know. We'll save that conversation for right now.
I'm not gonna waste my time.
We'll save that combo for right now. We have to give an update on the bet because that came to a close last week. But I know Sheridan wants his opportunity to gloat a little bit. That's just it's cool. It worked out best for Upstate Aesthetics, so I was very excited about that.
Yeah,
that's a damn fact.
Yeah, we bet $100 on the Clippers Nuggets series. Anthony posted after game 1, "Oh, this gonna be an easy $100."
Were you about to send him the money on Cash App before the series was even over?
Yeah. When it was 3-1 and we were down like 16, I was like, "Yo, what's your Cash App, Brody?" Like, I was like, "Damn, this is crazy."
Yo, I should have just sent you my Cash App that and took the bread. I was like, "Yo, bro, just wait. You guys might come back."
I wasn't gonna. I just wanted it. I just wanted to like have it so as soon as it was over, I could send it. But then I was like, "Oh nah, we got that game. Here we go." And that was dope for me because I had just won $100 on the Heat Bucks series as well because I bet on the Heat.
That's fire.
So I cashed in $200 on just bet on games, and now because of those wins, it made me get into FanDuel, and now I've been cashing in mad bread on FanDuel. I've made like $200 in the last 3 days.
Sheridan's a game shark now.
I'm blacking out.
That's crazy.
Yo, nobody would. I mean, the Clippers had a dramatic meltdown. Pandemic peak.
That was crazy.
Montrez and Lou was horrible. The last game was just unexcusable. So props to you for sticking through with your team. I'm glad that they pulled through. I'm glad you had some honor in you. You feel me?
That was a great series, though. Like I told you guys, it was gonna go to 7. Like, that was awesome.
I thought it was gonna be Clippers in 6. I'm not gonna hold you. But that night that I had to pay you the 100, I won 102K against my boy, and
it worked out.
I evened out. I wasn't positive, but I got to take the debt away. So it like comes full circle. You feel me?
And now we gonna bust these other LA clowns too.
Oh man,
Lord.
All right.
Now we gonna bust these other LA clowns.
I can't count you guys out
at this point.
Bro, we got another home game coming up. You know,
a home game. Sorry, I hear you. I was like,
that's funny. But yeah, so that wraps up our bet situation, at least for this point. With Sheridan's new lifestyle, betting on games might become a new situation. So if y'all trying to bet on some shit, just hit Sheridan up. I'm sure he'll give it to you.
Don't try to hit me on bets against the Lakers. I was gassing you. Like, don't let me. I will never bet against LeBron.
Now we gotta play some music. Sheridan, your track's up first, bro.
I got Pink Lemonade by Matthew Cornwell. This was the one I had to play. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite, but it's one of my favorite Matthew Cornwell tracks. So just check it out.
Sheridan stole my track for this week. I was gonna play this, and he swooped in and let me know that this was his track. So here we go.
The cool part is heat too.
Facts.
In the city to the north, in the heat of my days, I was a younger man, less complete in my ways. You said you wanted a drink, I said I wanted to pay. I got a mango margarita, you got pink lemonade. We sat out on the bench in the heat and the haze. If I remember, Viva was the name of the place. Shit was hella ironic, had me feeling away. You said you feeling too high, I said I'm feeling okay.
I said, darling, this here ain't no ordinary timing. The moon is gold, the stars have turned to diamonds. And and they're all just trying to keep up with your shining. But we can't all be you, girl, but I'll never mind it. Cause even in this lack of words I'm finding that I'm comfortable with sitting here in silence, while the only thought that's passing through my mind is how bad I wanna be. That pink lemonade. That pink lemonade.
So we made it to the venue where the reggae was played. It was only like a block, so we stumbled away. I could tell you getting faded by that look in your face and the way you move your hips in that particular way. Then we started to dance, I put my hands on your waist. Everybody making love, ain't nobody ashamed. But that's when you pulled me close, said you wanted a taste. I said, baby, what you drinking? You said pink lemonade.
I said, baby, this here ain't no ordinary feeling. Our bodies here, we're dancing up on the ceiling. But the way you look at me is just so revealing. Almost like you want me to be. Oh, that pink lemonade. That pink lemonade.
Peter.
That is Pink Lemonade by Matthew Cornwell. Yeah, that is a great track. I'm actually super excited about this track, not just because of the track, but because that means we should be in rollout mode. Matthew Cornwell should be coming with something sooner than later, which is really exciting, just because his last project, I want to say, dropped in like 2018 even, and that was a really good, it might even been 2017 now that I look at it, and that was a good one. It was a great one. So it's been a while though, and I'm excited for that.
You don't even have to question whatever he's dropped. It's gonna be fire. I do hope that this is lead up or roll out to something coming, and I think he needs to shoot a video for this ASAP. This is so fire, bro. I like when he goes out into the little telephone voice. It's really nostalgic. I like the back and forth. The vibe is super calm throughout the whole track. It's just a bop. There's no other way to describe this. It's a certified hit. You should be reaching out to radio stations.
That's crazy. That's one of my favorite tracks I've heard from Upstate. Period. Honestly, that's just right up my alley. It's like my type of music. It's my type of sound. He's an amazing singer naturally. The bass line is so great. The melodies are great.
Yeah,
so much originality.
You mentioned he should be hitting up radio stations, and this gives us a chance actually to have a bit of a conversation, because my dad works for a radio station out in New York. I actually know that Matthew Cornwell has hit up my dad to try and get this on the radio station. And this is where I just want to say local radio stations are fucking trash because they won't support local artists the way that they should because there's no financial incentive for them. And I'm not calling my dad trash. I'm calling the place he works for trash. I'm not going to put the exact station on business. But yeah, when I heard this conversation, my dad talked to me about it. He's like, yeah, I talked to Matt. He wanted to get a track on. And I was like, well, you're going to, right? And he's like, well, I can't because... I've had this discussion with him multiple times. I'm like, dude, do a local show. Do like an hour show, put people on, like, and people will fucking tune into it because nowhere else in Upstate is really doing something like that on a real radio station, and they're just trash. Local radio stations are trash. They're too much about trying to make a buck. So I wanted to have that quick conversation because as you brought it up, I was like, well, Matt, if he hears that, will be like, man, I've tried, and they're just lame. So they should throw that on the radio though. If
WICB push people on.
And granted, Matthew's clearly taken steps to get his song on the radio. He's pursuing other outlets for this. I don't know what his exact plans are, but all you got to do is a little bit of research. You can easily find some radio stations, whether they're underground, local, across the country. You feel me? Facts. And that's a shitty example. You feel me? Like it sucks that your dad can't get it on. We know he would hook it up if he could. But that's a shame because a lot of stations are like that. But you can find some that'll spin this. And I do want to plug this. Same to you, Sheridan. If anybody local has some music that they want spun, there's a radio station that I see that I've been talking to who's interviewed a couple different local artists. And the last time that we spoke, she said that she's trying to turn the radio station, or at least a specific segment, into strictly like local music. Radio, you would be pumped through all Ithaca, I think Tompkins County, and it's a really good look. I don't know the radio station off the top of my head, but if you hit me up, I'll try to coordinate some with this lady. It's a really good look, and I'm excited that she's investing herself into the local community.
Yeah, I'm definitely
that's
with
a
that.
fact, and I'm glad that you helped clarify the fact because not all local radio stations suck, but I've definitely noticed, especially. Especially upstate. That's kind of the shitty part. The Binghamton area, the shit that I dealt with up there, is just like...
College radio is where it's at. And whether it's in Ithaca or other places, and it's different for a song like Matthew Cornwell's. Because in my mind...
That's next level.
Exactly. You hear it and you're just like, any radio would be lucky to play this. You feel me? But somebody like me, I got to find underground rap stations. You feel me? I got to find... really obscure places that play music that would fit mine, especially uncensored. Like this is just a radio. Even if you got to grease a pocket to get this on Hot 97, bro, this should be spinning somewhere. Like this needs to be heard. I think a video would really help to get this some traction to it. But yet again, Matthew Cornwell just came with a bop.
Yeah, that's amazing song. Amazing song.
That's a fact. Ant, your track is up next. What do you got for us this week?
So I got a track from an artist that I've heard about a little bit ago. I didn't completely love his music the first time I saw him, and I didn't know who he was, so I probably gave it 30 seconds and turned it off. And then something sparked my attention because I saw the same artist. He had a thumbnail of his new video, and it's just Lil Uzi. And I was like, what the fuck? Lil Uzi? He didn't have a feature or anything. I'm looking, I'm like, this is Just Zeke, by the way. He's Just Zeke out of Rochester. So I clicked on the video. It had almost 1 million views in 5 days. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I bumped the track, and it was a banger. I should have gave homie a chance a while back. Just further proves the versatility of the Rochester scene and how many different talented artists are out there. So I think the track's called Damn. Is that right? Yeah, boom. Let's get it.
Yo, that was just so fun. Yo, hold up. That was hard, though. That was really hard. Real rap. That was really hard, yo. Hey, Tony, I do this shit in my sleep, bro. Hold up. Hey. Right. Look. Tony was Hey. I take my shot and get groovy. When I walk in that bitch, it's a movie. She on my head, she a groupie. I can't fuck with that bitch cause I'm choosy. I stated myself, truthfully. I can fuck with them niggas, they goofy. She getting smoked, Lucy. And my main play shit like a smoothie. I take my shot and get groovy. When I walk in that bitch, it's a movie. She on my head, she a groupie. I can't fuck with that bitch cause I'm choosy. I stated myself, truthfully. I can't fuck with them niggas, they goofy. He getting smoked, Lucy. And my man playing shit like a smoothie. Blend it up, blend it up. Pop out, pop out, Niggas in the crib when the shots out, Niggas be tellin' when the cops out, Say you got guns when the Glocks out. I break bread so my niggas can eat. Niggas can't, boy, you not in the streets. How you flex pandemic relief? She not true, keep your bitch on the leash. They hate when I prosper. I fuck that bitch cause she bad like a toddler. Turn that boy to a noodle lasagna. Niggas fake so I call them imposters. I keep a gun in the closet, metal with hangs from the wall like a locker. In the bitch, I stay with a chopper. She was drawing, I fucked her and blocked her. Bitch, I'm from Philly, I move like a mobster. Family and Trini, I fuck with the rosters. I pull up me and Jahi a monster. Hit up 2 and I need me a lineup. Taking over your block and I conquer. Packing the mail, get a whiff for the ganja. I'm with my niggas, this shit like Wakanda. I need a foreign, I pull up a Elantra. Ask for money, she think I'm a sponsor. Hit a Ross arm right to the doctors. I was down on my last, had no option. Hit a lick, had they grab me and stop it. Do the shit for the cream basket robbing. Catch me a play, then I put him on top 10. If my man got an issue, I'm sliding. Why the rock, it don't matter, I'm rocking. Put a bitch in a place if she get out of pocket. Since just your location, I told her to stop. All of this drip, man, it came out the closet. If I post a pic, I cannot rock it. I cannot rock it. Say you the plug, but you the socket. Niggas, they fraud. I see a eye, let us some shots. He getting dropped. I'm with my dog, Shaggy. Right. Bro, put the weed in the baggie. Right. Want a link? Send him Addy. Addy. Fuck. What I say? Just Z. Keep that. And we out. Dying. Why the runner don't matter? I'm rocking. Put a bitch in the place.
That's just Zeke. Damn. That wasn't bad. That was really dope. The end was different, but I don't know if I hated it. Normally, I would really hate some shit like that. I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't. That's where
I love that.
I love when tracks fade out into just that ends up being like camera footage of people just at the music video lit type shit, like rapping to the lyrics or in the studio session. I love that shit, and the reason why I love this song so much, it's definitely not the best display of lyricism. The beat is wild. The beat knocks so damn hard. He wrote it with a consistent flow. He has crazy energy. Sounds like a fun guy. Like just fun to listen to. It was a little bit long. Like towards the middle of the song, it was a little bit like dragged out to me the first time I heard it. But he has the type of energy that carries it the whole time. You feel me? I can't help but bop to that shit. I'm sure it was mad fun to be at the video shoot.
Right.
Yeah, that shit was mad fun. I liked it a lot. There was one line that sounded weird to me, but I have to go re-listen to it to see if I heard it right.
Fuck that bitch because she bad like a toddler. I didn't like that.
What the fuck?
That was exactly what I was talking about, bro. I thought I had heard that wrong. That was a little weird. But
sounded like he was freestyling though and just let one go. So I'm not gonna hold it against him. I don't like that one though.
Yeah, me either. But other than that,
we're talking about once you said that.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those ones. Once you think about it, you gotta be like, nope.
Yep, like somebody at the studio should have been like,
nope. We're gonna cut that. That ain't the one. But yeah, it was a dope track. I was I really liked that. It was fun. So the next.
Shout out to Rock.
The next track I got this one sent from D. Sean. He said he's looking to start dropping some more music here soon. So he wanted me to play this one. It's called Bad Bitch. We'll go ahead and play it for him. Here you go.
Bad little bitch, tell me, have you seen her? She a eater, shorty acting like a keeper. Bad little bitch, tell me, have you seen her? Yeah. Bad little bitch, tell me, have you seen her? He a shooter cause he's scared to get beat up. Niggas out here telling dying for no reason. Love. Bad little bitch, yeah. Tell me, have you seen her? Word on the load of Brody fucking with Tina. I don't trust a soul, the only bitch I trust is Nina. In the booth, I'm heating up my heart colder than your freezer. Wanted my turn, waited my turn, I played the bleachers. From the block into arenas, warming up, I got a fever. Glock on me, that's my heater. Put no work in, I can't feel you. Never been a Doja type, young and I was born a leader. Riding, that's for show, grind on go, hard on froze. Fuck a fake friend, yeah, young and rather grind alone. 9 out of 10, your killer, someone you know. Could easily be your cousin, fuck around and be your bro. Yeah. How niggas want it, cause I don't see no opponent. I'm the one, count my blessing, the youngin' feeling so chosen in my bag. Chase a bag, a youngin' gotta stay focused. Who is that? Popping up, a youngin' like hocus pocus. I done seen niggas wore it out, oh now he preaching. I done seen cuz selling packs, oh now he tweaking. Tryna run with my style, little homie, you can keep it. If I ever said I love you, little homie, then I mean it. Bad little bitch, yeah, she put me on the list. Throw a pack, ballin', yeah, she just caught her assist. Coming from broke, bitch, I had to go get lit. Youngin' finna get it in, I put that on my kids. Bad little bitch, yeah, tell me, have you seen her? Word on the low, the Brody fucking with Tina. I don't trust a soul, the only bitch I trust is Nina. In the booth, I'm heating up my heart colder than your freezer. Wanted my turn, waited my turn, I played the bleachers. From the block into arenas, warming up, I got a fever. Glock on me, that's my heater. Put no work in, I can't feel you. Never been a Doja type, young and I was born a leader.
That's Bad Bitch from D-Sean. He sent me that one a while back and then hit me up today. Let me know he wanted me to play something. Like I said, he's supposed to be rolling out some new music here soon. So I don't think that's anything recent. I think he's got some new shit that he's lined up to drop. But what'd you guys think of that?
You go first, Sheridan.
Oh, I was gonna tell you to go first.
I go first.
Nah, I'll do it. Honestly, when it first came on, I really did not like it. I didn't like the concept. I didn't like the hook. But then when he started getting into it, felt like he found a flow. Some of the bars started to stand out. I didn't hate it, you know? Like, there were parts of it that I really didn't like, but there were certain parts of it where I was like, okay, like, he found a flow here. He found his rhythm. But hearing that it's some earlier music and that he's got some other shit coming out, I think it's a good start. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be something I would drop, but.
Well, I hear that. I hear what you were talking about. I was confused at first because I just didn't get where the song was going. I didn't know if it was a story. I didn't know if it was a banger. But I loved the beat. And the first time he went through with the Diva, Tina, Nina, Frieza, I was like, I've heard these rhymes before, but I really loved the flow he was using. I didn't hear the necessarily the lines he was saying, but I've heard those words be rhymed with each other numerous times. It was very familiar. I think as soon as he got into his bag, though, he started going off.
Yeah.
I know him very well. We grew up together type shit. And so his lyrics hit me a little bit different. I know he means this shit, you feel me? And I can even see some of the little intricacies that go into his life. He's talking some personal shit here and there. He's going in, and I understand.
I think he definitely got into it. I don't want to take that away from him.
No, I hear what
it was the beginning threw me off heavy, so it was hard for me to it took me a minute to really get into it.
I feel you on that, because at first it threw me off a little bit, but it took me about 4 to 8 bars to be like, oh nah. All I could do, I had to close my eyes and sit here and just bop, and because he really got into his flow. Like, for a rapper, the rapper that he is, he's a lyrical. I'm aggressive. You feel me? For him to ride that steady flow, I know he was in his bag for that. So I actually fuck with it, and to hear that it was an old track only makes me more excited for what he has, because I agree. I really enjoyed that. I hear what you're saying.
I like most of his music. I didn't hate that. There was just certain parts of it that definitely threw me off.
Yeah, I agree pretty much with a little bit of both of what you guys are saying. Primarily more with Sheridan and the fact that I didn't love this track, but I did once we got into the real lyrical part of it. It wasn't so much of I felt like the hook was just maybe just tossed together or something. It just didn't catch me as anything like you said, a lot of those words I've heard rhyme together. Nina, Tina, Trina, whatever. That type of thing. It's something you hear a lot. And so for that, it wasn't the best. But once he got into the real shit, I was like, man, why couldn't this whole track have sort of been this? Because I thought this track was just gonna be about bad bitches, like the way it's presented in the beginning, and then it becomes a more real track. And
I was confused about the topic. You feel me? Like, what's bad bitch? You hear today, bad bitch. Think it's gonna be about bad bitches.
Facts.
Then you hear the first couple lines. And I'm sitting here like, Brody fucking with Tina. I'm like, oh shit, is this the nigga's about to tell a story? And then he goes with the Nina. Like, I fucked with it. It wasn't my favorite Deshaun track, but
that's the point. That's the point I wanted to get to, because he sent me this track a while back. Then we had the episode where we were talking about stuff that was a little bit more socially aware, so he sent me a different track and we played that one, and that one was really good because of the lyrical content of that one, and we didn't really even get a chance to speak on that one. So in terms of how we've played them, I just feel like it's a step back because I thought that track was way better. But in terms of how I got them and maybe even how they were made, I think that the next track is better, and I hope that he drops that one. If he's going to drop either of them, I hope he drops that one first for people to really get a chance to listen to and dissect, because I remember he was talking a lot of real shit on that one. So that's probably my biggest problem with this one is, like, man, we played the better one like a month and a half ago. So that's my only issue. Otherwise, it's not a bad track. And really, once you get past the first hook and get into the content and the substance of the track, I really liked it. So I'm looking forward to what Deshaun has coming up, because he's right. He's been a little bit quiet. So once he starts dropping, I'll be excited for that.
He's thinking, he's planning.
Facts.
I know I haven't spoke to him in a little bit, but I know he's been grinding, working hard, doing his family thing. And I know he's a very strategic person. He's probably stockpiled a couple projects himself ready for, because remember, he was dropping more videos consecutively than really anybody.
That's a fact.
Like Burst went on a run like that. But he dropped like 6, 7, 8 videos in a span of like 6 months.
Yep, I remember that.
Every couple of weeks.
He was dropping the videos and then the tracks right after, like a week later. So I'm excited to see. He's probably gonna have some type of rollout coming out. So excited for it. That's really dope. That really wraps up everything we got to talk about this week. You guys got anything coming up you want to promote? Let people know about?
Yes, sir. Yesterday, I posted on IG and said if I got 100 comments, I'll drop the trailer to my video. I did a song called Cartel, produced by Jake Daniels, shot by Zakai. Really, I'm really excited for this one. I looked at IG today and said I had 100 comments. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop the trailer, and I'm gonna preview, or I'm gonna show the video next week on the episode.
Oh, shit.
I got the finished version, and I'm gonna drop the video next Friday. So a week from Friday, I'm gonna let the video go. The trailer will be out soon. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to drop it tonight or Friday just to keep it a week. But I think because I got the 100 comments, I'm going to let that bitch go today. We'll see.
You got to give it to him, bro. You got to give it to him.
Exactly. I'm excited to see what you guys think of the video. I don't want y'all to watch it until we premiere it on the episode. So I'm going to send it to you, Drew, next week. But besides that, just follow me on social medias and follow me on Instagram specifically if you'd like to see the trailer. Anthony Cannon.
Facts. I got on the 25th, so on Friday, we have the Road Less Traveled video finally coming exclusively on Apple Music for now. I'm figuring out how I want to do the YouTube drop still. Exclusively on Apple Music for now, though. And then I have another single dropping on the 9th of October, More Than 10, which we previewed on the podcast quite a few weeks ago. But yeah, and I got a couple more things I'm going to be doing before the end of the year. So just be on the lookout. Follow me on all social medias. I'm going to be... I might have to make a burner account or something and drop some pre-save links in the comments for today's episode, because I'm still banned for another like 12 days on Facebook.
Tragic.
But I got the pre-save links for the video and the single, so I'll see how I can get those in the comments tonight.
Yeah, let me know. I'll post it on Facebook. Tell people pre-save it.
Facts. We've been out here promoting for you while you've been locked up. Don't worry, bro. You just keep singing that Tekashi remix, all right?
Oh my goodness.
God is ass.
Upstate Aesthetic will have some merch coming very soon. Well, not very soon, but probably by November. Getting that shit all put together now. Getting graphics and stuff done for it. Really excited about that. Got some other cool stuff potentially planned with that. But otherwise, just follow Upstate Aesthetic on Facebook. Check out the website. That's where we have all kinds of news and shit. And we should be starting an interview series here this week because I have to for college. Otherwise, I'm going to start falling behind. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you guys for tuning in to another dope episode. We're going to play a little bit of Chicken Spot and get out of here. Thanks.
Hey yo, I pulled up to the chicken spot, got a 6-piece, 1 biscuit and a stupid watch. Don't make me pull the biscuit out, the shit get stupid watch. Since when they sell Rolex at a BB spots? Goddamn man, I could never tell you. I ain't rolling with no fucking tools, but we come and drill you. Tool styrofoam cups up, we gon' come and